Young Soto.
What's he gonna chase? The slider? Nah. Oh, I've got it.
Bitch, sit down.
In the air to deep right center field. And there she goes.
Sad but true fact, I don't think I moved from this chair all day yesterday. I was glued to the TV watching all of the great postseason baseball games. There were 8 yesterday, we have 5 today, and maybe 4 tomorrow, depending on who wins and loses today. But another fantastic day of the wild card round. I don't know if the 16-team playoff is here to stay, but I gotta be honest, I would not be opposed to it staying. At the beginning of the season, you can find my video where I announced it. I was very upset, but these few days have been, it's been wonderful. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. The only thing I would change is maybe put a little bit more of an incentive on winning your division, because like a team like the Rays gets the best record in like the American League, and then they lose 2 games to the Blue Jays, and you're done. Like, I feel like they need to put a little bit more of a division incentive on. But you know what? That's fine. It's a pandemic. Don't worry about it. Anyway, let's get into recapping the games of the first game. Starting at 11 a.m. Central Time, we have the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. This game went to the Atlanta Braves. Final score in 13 innings, 1-0. It was the longest scoreless postseason game in MLB history. Your starting pitchers were Max Fried against Mr. Bauer outage, Trevor Bauer, and Trevor Bauer was magnificent. 7 2/3 innings pitched, only gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, 12 strikeouts. This man could not be touched. On the other side for the Braves, Max Fried, equally as good, pitching 7 innings, giving up 6 hits, 5 strikeouts. So both of them get saddled with a no decision. The Braves, they actually were threatening, the Reds were threatening early. At one point, the Reds had first and third, nobody out to start the game, couldn't cash in. In extra innings, they left the bases loaded on 2 separate occasions. As for the Reds pitching, Bryce Iglesias pitched a scoreless inning. Lucas Sims pitched a scoreless inning. Mike Lorenzen pitched 2 scoreless innings. For the Braves, Max Fried, Chris Martin, Mark Melancon, Will Smith, Darren O'Day, Tyler Mrazek, and Shane Green and A.J. Minter all pitched a scoreless inning. But it all comes to a head in the bottom of the 13th inning. Archie Bradley on the mound, and he gets into a little bit of trouble. Ronald Acuna draws a walk. Adam Duvall hits a single to move Acuna to third base. And then Freddie Freeman smacks a base hit up the middle to get the only run of the game, and the Braves win 1-0. They win today, they will move to the ALDS. Oh my goodness, this might have been the saddest game yesterday. This game was just sad. The Minnesota Twins taking on the Houston Astros, and Christian Javier is on the mound. He's been great for the Astros. The game was tied 1-1 after the 5th inning. Cole Tucker had an RBI single in the 4th. Nelson Cruz had an RBI double in the 5th. But in the top of the 7th, with Cody Stashak on the mound, Carlos Correa lifts a deep drive into the opposite field. It gets out of here, and the Astros then lead 2-1. But the Twins get a runner on base later in, I think, the 8th inning, and they pinch run with Byron Buxton, one of the fastest men in all of baseball. He gets too jumpy, and he gets picked off and caught in a rundown. And at that point, you knew it was over. The momentum was zapped. Cole Tucker added another RBI single in the 9th to make it 3-1. And the Twins, Eddie Rosario got ejected in this game. The Twins have now lost 18 straight postseason games going back to 2004. That's sad. That's sad. It's not like they haven't made the playoffs at all either. 18 straight postseason games. Yikes. Oh my goodness. And the worst part about that game was they were interviewing Carlos Correa post-game. He's like, I thought you guys only talk about cheating scandal in first game. Now you talk about us winning. Look, your narrative has changed. Put some respect on us. It's like, no, you don't deserve respect. You're cheating scums. You're going to get boat raced by either the A's or the Yankees. I mean, the A's and the Sox, whoever ends up winning that series. Speaking of the A's and Sox, the A's took Game 2. They won 5-3 of their elimination game, and your player of the game was Chris Bassett. 7 innings pitched, only gave up 1 earned run, and got smacked along 5 strikeouts. As for Dallas Keuchel, he did not pitch well. 3 1/3, gave up 3 runs. Marcus Semien and Chris Davis both went deep. But this game got intense down the stretch. It was nerve-wracking. In the top of the 8th, Yasmani Grandal with a 2-run homer makes it 5-2. They brought in Liam Hendricks on in the 8th, and I don't understand why. When you're up by 5, I would save him for Game 3. But they brought him in, and he did not pitch well. What was his final line? 1 2/3 innings pitched, gave up the 2 runs. Then he ended up loading the bases with 2 out. I think he even ended up walking in a run. So he loaded the bases, and then they're like, with 2 outs, so they brought in Jake Diekman. Diekman walks home a run, and then Abreu comes up, but Abreu lined out to second base to end the game, and the A's escape with a win. As for the game, we'll preview all of today's games later. Oh, this was bad. My Cubs lose 5-1 to the Miami Marlins. This was bad. Kyle Hendricks started the game, and he was great throughout the first part of the game. 6 innings pitched, didn't give up an earned run. In the bottom of the 5th, Ian Happ found the short porch in left field for a solo shot to give us the 1-0 lead. We're looking strong. The Marlins did, I think, end up getting 2 men on, but you know what? That's okay. Except that it's not okay because in the top of the 7th, Corey Dickerson lifts a deep drive into the opposite field, and it finds the short porch as well. A 3-run shot gives Miami the lead. Win probability went from 70% for the Cubs to 75% for the Marlins. Later in the inning, Jesus Aguilar crushes a ball into right field, opposite field. That one found the short porch. Miami then led 5-1, and their bullpen shut it down after that. Sandy Alcantara was really good. Now, I'm nervous for Game 2, man. I don't know. It's looking shaky, especially because they have Sixto Sanchez on the mound. You never know with him. He's either lights out or gives up 5 runs in the first inning. We'll have to see, though. Hopefully the Cubs can rebound in Game 2. The Rays clinched. They beat the Blue Jays in Game 2. They are moving on to the ALDS. Hyunjin Ryu got chased after 1 2/3 innings. Manuel Margot had an RBI single in the first. Mike Zunino had a 2-run homer in the second. Later on in the second inning, with the bases loaded, Hunter Renfroe lifted a crushing blast down the line and left. It was way gone for a grand slam, putting the Rays up 7-0, and they cruised after that for a win. Tyler Glasnow, 6 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs. And that was all she wrote for the Toronto Blue Jays. Thanks for playing. Be sure to come back next year. I definitely think the Blue Jays are really good for the future. They have a lot of good young pieces. But this was the learning experience here. All right, now the San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Padres were without their 2 best pitchers, Dinelson Lamet and Mike Clevenger. And I did not know that. Had I have known that, I would have picked the Cardinals. But next man up, Chris Paddack is your starting pitcher. Final line for Chris Paddack, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. He got rocked around. First inning, 2-run Paul Goldschmidt homer, RBI single by Molina, sac fly by Carpenter. They were crushing them. The Cardinals, their hitting approach was just waiting for middle fastballs, and they came more often than not. In the third, Paul DeYoung RBI single, Matt Carpenter RBI single, made it 6-2, and they rode that to a nice, easy victory. They win 7-4, and the Cardinals are in the driver's seat, man. It's that devil magic. God. Cardinals always come through when it matters, and it's just, man, they might not have the best team on paper, but they will get it done when need to be. Man, did I hit this one on the head. Boy, did I nail this series on the head. The Indians and the Yankees. This was tragic. So, the win probability chart for this game. Oh my goodness, this was intense. The Yankees end up winning 10-9, eliminating the Cleveland Indians, and the longest World Series drought in baseball will continue. What is it at now? Like 73 years, I think. Sorry, Cleveland fans. It started off great. First inning, Jose Ramirez RBI double. First inning, Josh Naylor had an RBI double, and Roberto Perez slapped an RBI single. They were all over Tanaka in the first inning, 4-0. And then the rain came. There was a big rain delay after this game. In the top of the second, Giancarlo Stanton gets the Yankees on the board with a soaring home run to make it 4-1. In the fourth inning, Carrasco's into a bit of trouble. He's loaded the bases for Gio Urshela, and he gets a middle pitch, crushes it way out into left field for a grand slam to give the Yankees the lead 5-4. Top of the fifth, Giancarlo Stanton again would tack on a sac fly, scoring Aaron Hicks. But in the bottom of the fifth, with runners on second and third, Jose Ramirez, there goes that man again. He's been red hot. He might win the AL MVP. He's been that good. Doubles down the line. Lindor and Hernandez score to tie the game. Later, in the top of the sixth inning, Gary Sanchez lifts a high drive into center field, and it barely clears the wall. 356 feet, the Yankees get the lead right back. But in the bottom of the seventh, with another runners on second and third, Jordan Luplow with a double to deep center field scores Franmil Reyes and Carlos Santana to tie the game at 8. In the bottom of the eighth, Cesar Hernandez with an RBI single to center field. Delino DeShields Jr. scores, and Lindor moves up to second. So they are now 3 outs away. They call on Brad Hand for the save, and he's into a bit of trouble. Mike Tauchman ends up getting to third base with I think 1 out, and Gary Sanchez hits a sac fly to bring him home. Glad to see he's remembered how to hit a baseball, tying the game at 9. And then later in the top of the ninth inning, in the top of the ninth, DJ LeMahieu with a looper into center field brings Gio Urshela home to give the Yankees the lead, and that was all she wrote. Aroldis Chapman Aroldis Chapman pitched the 8th and 9th. He gets credit for the win, and the Cleveland Indians have been eliminated from the postseason. Man, I hit this one on the head. I was like, man, the Yankees have the better team, and they look. I said the Indians have the better team. They look better, but it's just playoff history, and I think narratives are going to stay the same. That's exactly what happened. Cleveland, sorry, man. See you next year. And then the last game of the night, the nightcap, was the Dodgers hosting the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Dodgers win this game closer than I think most people expected. They won 4-2. They jumped out to an early lead in the first inning. Will Smith and AJ Pollock walked with the bases loaded. It was a rough start for Brett Suter. In the bottom of the second, Mookie Betts with an RBI double to center scores Chris Taylor. But the Brew Crew did not go away quietly. Orlando Arcia tacks a homer on 402 feet into left field, scoring Dan Vogelbach to give them the lead. But the Dodgers bullpen really shut it down after that. Corey Seager tacked down an insurance run in the 7th inning, homering to make it 4-2. And they pretty much just controlled the game after that. Buehler pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs. Arias pitched 3 innings out of relief. Blake Trinan and Kenley Jansen both tacked on an inning of their own. And the Dodgers lead 1-0 over the Brewers. Now we have to talk about the games that are today. And we'll see there. Every single game today is an elimination game. There are 5 games. Marlins Cubs at 1, White Sox A's at 2, Reds Braves at 11, Cardinals Padres at 6, and Brewers Dodgers at 9. Your starting pitching matchup for the Cubs and Marlins will be Sixto Sanchez against Yu Darvish. I was confused when they didn't start Darvish game 1, but I kind of see the strategy. It's like you put Hendricks on, you have confidence in him to get a win. But even if he doesn't, you got your best pitcher out for an elimination game. So I kind of see we're in a good spot right now. I think Cubs should be able to force a Game 3. White Sox at A's is currently undecided. I would bet it's Montas for the A's, and I bet you it's Cease for the White Sox. I like the A's matchup there. As for Game 2 between the Reds and Braves, Reds need to win this to keep their season alive. They will rely on Luis Castillo against the rookie Ian Anderson. I'm telling you, if the Reds win this game, I bet you they win this series because they'll have Sonny Gray against who knows for I don't know who's even going to pitch for the Braves, but we'll have to see. So a lot riding on this game for the Braves. Padres down to their last game of the season. It would be a shame if the, quote, best Padres team ever, which is what a lot of Padres fans are calling it, Steve, they got bounced after 2 games. They are the fate of their season lying on the arms of Zach Davies, who has pitched. He's been pretty good this year. He's 7-4 with a 2.73. Yeah, he's actually been really good. So they will be facing longtime Cardinals pitcher and a lot of experience in the postseason, Adam Wainwright. He is a 3.51 ERA this year. And as for the Brewers and Dodgers, it will be Clayton Kershaw on the mound. We know what he does in the postseason against Brandon Woodruff, probably one of Milwaukee's better pitchers. He can tick 100. He's going to really need to turn in a good performance for the Dodgers to force a Game 3. So White Sox A's is win or go home for both teams. The Cubs, Reds, Padres, and Brewers all need to win to keep their season alive. And if we have a Game 3, those will be on Friday. And we'll have to see what today has in store. Hope you guys enjoyed the MLB recap. I'm so nervous for my Cubs. I can't. It's going to be so nerve-wracking. But I'll see you guys next time.